A $37,000 month as a wedding photographer is not luck, it's pure strategy. I'm gonna show you how we helped our client, Taryn, who's a wedding photographer, hit a $37,000 month so you can do it too. And there's two main things she did that helped her hit these levels as well. So no fluff, let's just get straight to the tactics on how she was able to do this. But first, I'm going to share my screen real quick so you can see that this is real. So this is our school community where a lot of wedding photographers and filmmakers are learning how to do this. And she just recently had a post right over here that said, "Hi, I have to share this month's win. Started my ads in late December and it's been running on and off and tweaking it here and there. They've done so well, bringing in 2 to 3 inquiries a day. 2 to 3 inquiries a day, sometimes even more. Right now, in wedding bookings for January, I've booked $37,000. That's in January. We're not even done with January yet. My biggest month yet. Another huge win is it's ideal clients booking my bigger packages. This is crazy. I was a little nervous running ads with bigger budget, but I've clearly surpassed my ad spend with inquiries continuously coming in." And my wife, Crystal, also one of the coaches, celebrating this win with her. Crystal helped her a lot when it came to refining her copy, her messaging for her landing page and her ads. And a lot of the students celebrating this win with her as well. So I just wanted to show you that so you know that this is real. And I'll put a link to this community in the description as well. But how was she able to do this? Without much word of mouth, without hustling organic social media, without the Not Wedding Pro thumbtack that I'm sure a lot of you are on as well, and hit a $37,000 month. I'm gonna go back to my screen. I'm gonna show you the exact tactic that we're doing. One is the lead magnet strategy, where we use lead magnets or mini offers to get a ton of leads at a very cheap cost. Very profitable. Have had a lot of students hit 6 figures in less than a year just from this. Another funnel that we teach is the invisible Instagram funnel. A lot of students like this one, especially because it's growing their Instagram following with newly engaged couples that are local at the same time. So they're able to build a very powerful personal brand. But Taryn, she was actually running this one here. We call it the direct inquiry ad funnel. Now, invisible Instagram funnel and lead magnet funnel, much cheaper to run. Invisible Instagram funnel, we can get away with like $50 to maybe $300 a month in ad spend. With a lead magnet funnel, we can get away with $200, $350 in ad spend. With a direct inquiry ad funnel, we normally might need $350, $500, maybe $1,000 a month in ad spend. But if you have the right ad, you have the right offer and the right messaging, it can be extremely powerful. So it's the more expensive funnel, a little bit more advanced as far as ad management, but also the simplest funnel because we're getting direct inquiries. And it looks something like this, where it starts off with a direct inquiry ad. No lead magnets. We're literally calling out our ideal client and getting them to desire to inquire to see if their date's available. Now, the messaging of this ad has to be very accurate and very good. You have very good messaging and copywriting. My wife and coach, Crystal, who's a master at branding, worked very closely with Taryn and a lot of our students to be able to nail in this copy for their ads. And as you can see, I put a little note here. This is a more expensive type of offer to run. Now, when we run these ads, still even at that point, 1 to 2% of the newly engaged couples that see that ad will click on the ad the very first time. And it leads to a long form landing page. With the lead magnet funnel that we teach up there, you can get away with a short form landing page because we're using a no-brainer lead magnet and mini offer. But for direct inquiries, we use a long form landing page, which is pretty much a one scroll website. And to get this to convert, the messaging and the copywriting of the long form landing page have to be on point. Very little room for error. And it's a more extravagant, really well designed landing page. And this leads to your inquiries and then to a call, and then we book the wedding. There's a very specific process we do on the call. Won't have time for that in this video, but that's pretty much the funnel. Normally a slightly higher cost per acquisition than these other two funnels that I showed you because we need more ad spend, but it is a simpler funnel that we're doing. Now the thing is with this funnel, so we can keep costs as low as possible. This strategy also takes very heavy retargeting. So the ad that we're running, we can run that same ad and we usually have a we have a pixel on this landing page gathering a bunch of data. And so we can gather that data, we can create what's called a custom audience, and then we can retarget that audience again so they see the ad, honestly, like several times a week. When it comes to retargeting, we want to create what's called omnipresence. And this is so important because sometimes they may just be busy. They may click on the ad, they hop on the landing page, they didn't get a chance to read the whole thing, so they leave. Maybe they see the ad again, but they're parking the car or they're in the car or something like that. Or maybe they're too early in their customer journey. They don't even have a wedding date yet. So, it's too stressful for them to think about who their wedding photographer is going to be. But then they see the retargeting ad maybe 30 days later once they're in a much better place. And so they click on the ad at that moment, and they finally read the entire thing and inquire. Studies show that it takes 7 touch points on average for a prospect to take action on a certain offer. I remember I wanted this fancy whiskey glass, but it probably took me about 7 to 12 touch points seeing their ads, seeing posts in their newsletter for me to finally buy that $50 whiskey cup. And it's the same exact thing with this. She had pushed very heavily on retargeting ads. And so Taryn, she was spending maybe about $30 a day when it came to her direct inquiry ad to cold traffic. And then depending on the size of how many people hopped on this landing page or her website, for retargeting, you may be spending anywhere between a couple dollars a day to $5 a day to, if you've been running a lot of traffic to this landing page, maybe $10 a day. Now, once you got the right messaging, the right photo. As far as ads, sometimes we use one photo, sometimes we use a carousel photos, sometimes we've used videos. But if you have the right messaging and we're getting that to convert, what happens next to ensure these turn into inquiries? Let's dive into Taryn's long-form landing page. Now here's Taryn's long-form landing page. Let's break it down. Now from a really quick bird's eye view, without even diving too deep into it, if you scroll through this landing page, you can easily see she has great work. Obviously, the better work that you have and the more clear your style is, the better your landing page is going to convert. And as you can see, it's also designed very well. It's super easy for the eyes to move on to the next point. You can see that it's split up into sections, which make it easy for the eyes to move on to the next part. And at the same time, you're getting a feel of her work in every aspect. So those are a couple key pillars and points you just want to know, even just from looking this at a very surface level. Now, even with all that together, one of the most important parts of the landing page is the messaging and the copy itself. And this is not something you want to wing. And this is not even something you want to copy because the words that's on Taryn's landing page may not be unique to you. You have to ensure that the words that we're using are very unique to your ideal client, your market segmentation, and your style as well. And Taryn and our students worked very closely with Crystal when it came to ensuring the messaging on their landing pages and their website were incredibly refined. And so what we have here in the headline of this landing page is intentionally and elegantly documenting pure moments for couples who cherish legacy and the beauty of intentional storytelling, serving upstate New York worldwide. What I like about this, she only used script for these 2 words, which is very important. You want to make sure the landing page is easy to read. She only used it for these 2 words to add to her brand and emphasize on what her brand is all about, and then calling out the ideal client here. Documenting pure moments for couples who cherish legacy and the beauty of intentional storytelling, and calling out the location, serving upstate New York and worldwide. You want to make sure, especially if you're trying to get local clients, you need to call out that area. If we move on to the next section, now we're diving into the experience and the approach. And this is super important to go into first. And the reason is most people, they might start diving into their about me. It sounds horrible, but no one cares about you until they know what they can benefit from you. And so here, an editorial approach. Timeless imagery with a documentary and editorial approach. I'm not going to read it, but she dives more in depth into that experience. Very intentional about the words that we're using. As we scroll down, now as we can show what they can benefit from us, we dive into the about the artist or the about you. Pick professional photos of you and dive into who you are, but also framing it in a way that shows what they benefit from working with you, because that's what the prospect actually cares about. Nicely sectioned design, so it's easy to guide through each part. We're getting also a feel of more of her work as we scroll through. Then she has a section on what sets me apart. She said, what sets me apart is my ability to seamlessly blend authentic storytelling with an editorial touch, creating timeless images that honor connection and legacy. More of her work here. And now we're going into social proofing, actual testimonials from clients that she's worked with while sharing the work here as well. We scroll down, another section here, emphasizing on the approach and the experience with just a couple words, less forced, more authentic, less artificial, more genuinely you, while sharing more portfolio work and then diving deeper into the approach and the experience. I'm not going to read all this here, but our look, timelessly elegant, intentionally documented, our approach, discreet, refined, and true, our editing, timeless and true to life. Those words were carefully chosen. This is not something that you want to wing. You have to get very detailed on what these non-visual aspects of your multidimensional brand are. And she worked very closely with Crystal when it came to this. And then at the end here, this offer is designed to provide you with a meaningful experience, which is why we're only taking a limited number of weddings, showing scarcity. If you are a couple who values legacy, refined storytelling, and the art of editorial photography, fill out the form below to share your vision and reserve a date. And we get the couples info, project date, what are we going to be documenting, how did you hear about me, what stood out, social media handle, so you can maybe DM them if you need to follow up. The venue, which is very important, so we know how far they are in their customer journey, getting a feel of their budget, and a few other things here. Amazing work with this Taryn, and this is getting her 2 to 3 inquiries a day. But as you can see, this isn't her main website. It feels like it though, but it is a long-form landing page. But for the wedding industry, if you want direct inquiries, the long-form landing page needs to pretty much be a one-page website. You don't want it too complicated and too long, but you want it just enough where they get a feel of your experience, who you are, social proofing, and what makes you different. And when we've done that, we have an ad and a message, a powerful ad with strong messaging that actually converts and gets newly engaged couples to click. We're running retargeting ads for everyone who hops on the landing page. We have a very strong long-form landing page that actually converts and is getting inquiries. Then we can turn those inquiries into calls, and we can actually start booking weddings. And this got Taryn to a $37,000 month. More to come. We've had quite a bit of students hit six-figure to multiple six-figure years with these types of funnels as well. Now, we didn't get too much of a chance to go over ad copy, messaging, how you actually build that type of ad copy for yourself, the targeting of the ad, the setup of the ad and the landing page, how we respond to inquiries, and how we do those calls with inquiries. But overall, from a bird's eye view, that funnel and what she did with her landing page was a huge part in helping her hit a $37,000 month. But if you want to learn more on how we're hitting 10K to 30K months, many of us even hitting six-figure to multiple six-figure years. In the description of this video, I linked a blog, a 5-minute read that literally breaks down our favorite strategy we're doing to scale to 10 to 30K months. For many students, even in about 90 days. So if you want to go more in depth into everything that we're talking about here, give this video a like and read that blog in the description of this video. And if you want more info in this school community on where all these wedding photographers and filmmakers are learning how to do this, you can find all the information about this school community in the very bottom of that blog as well. So you'll get to learn about our top six-figure strategies, and you'll get all the details on this school community as well. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Give this video a like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you on the next one.